Welcome to another episode of Pels in the Blender. It's your boy A. Davis. How y'all doing on this? What's today? Wednesday. Let me check. Yeah, Wednesday. On this beautiful Wednesday night, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, tapping in. You know what I mean? Kind of want to jump right into it today. What we talking about is finally. I want to go ahead and jump into the Zion Williamson discussion. Do a little because I've been talking about Zion. I've done a couple episodes about Z from like how does he stack up against the talent in the West? Like, do I think he's a top five most talented player in the West? Do I think he is one of the when he's playing at his best, is he one of the top talents in the league? But haven't really done like the film breakdown, shown like Z's numbers when he's actually on the court against against other teams. And specifically, I want to do this against the Western Conference. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of go forward with that. So the thing with Zion is that in this particular situation, and I've been talking about it again all season, I got them set around somewhere between 49 and 50 wins, something like that. And most of that is like pretty much all of that is based on your best player, how well Zion Williamson plays. I'm of the mindset that he comes into the season in shape, ready to go. You've been hearing Joe Dumars talk about he's doing the right things. Again, we don't want to talk too much about it, and because it's right now it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. He does have the legal situation, so hopefully that doesn't come up and kind of derail. Whoa, what's good, bro? You hear me? Appreciate you, Mike, for always tapping in, bro. Appreciate you. Um, so hopefully the court case don't become a thing where we lose Z for the season, because if that was to be the case, one, based on the case itself, that's something that like you got bigger problems than basketball. But we're not really gonna talk too much about that. But Z, for the most part, this offseason has been doing a really good job, keeping his head, keeping like staying out of trouble. Only things you hear about him has been all positive, to be honest, from the organization. From the day Joe Dumars got there and they've been supporting him, you've been seeing, well, sometimes not seeing him as being a good thing. He's been posting his little post. But again, if you remember, Joe was like, hey, I'm cool with you being however you want to be, bro. You ain't got to be a choir boy as long as you show up and go to work. And, the reports are he's in real good shape, getting in better shape, working on things. They constantly challenging him. He was at the draft, showed up, was at Summer League, showed up, still did his stuff with with Team Jordan and all of that. So again, I think him, and he's in like the leader thing, people, kind of on the fence about, but I don't necessarily know if I'm gonna say he's the leader, but de facto best player, he is the leader. You know what I mean? He's the leader of this team. This team is gonna go as far as Zion carries them, and they may not necessarily take on his personality, but if he gets if Z has the aggressive mindset, then this particular team can do much more than what I think any team has done previous. And I've been standing on that. Exactly, bro. That's the same thing I've been saying. Like, Joe reminds you of that uncle that tells you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. You know what I said this in one of the earlier episodes. You know how like when you was probably coming up as a young kid, you hit your teenage years, you start feeling yourself a little bit. You probably was like a single parent or whatever, and your mom didn't know what to do with you. She sent you over by that uncle. You know what I mean? He situates you, get you straight. Like that's what Gail did with the Pelicans. She didn't know who was going on with the team, how to get them under control. So what she did, she called in Joe Dumars, and he's been around the organization for a while. So all they pretty much did was like, Joe, listen, it's time to make this official. David Griffin can't control these dudes. Come in here and get them situated. And you've been, and again, I think you've been seeing it. You saw the video from Trey Murphy today. And again, I did the little short video Monday about this team being underdogs and how when you are underdog and you counted out by everybody, bro, it really just puts a chip on your shoulder like no other. And these dudes, you got to think they're like the best of the best. So these are prideful players. So like to be told that like, yo, y'all not gonna win 30 games, like that's got to be extremely insulting. Like Zion is the number one pick in the draft. People, that's a generational talent. Trey Murphy, people pegging to be a possible all-star and stuff like that. So if you got that kind of talent to hear you only gonna win 30 games, that's real disrespectful. And they taking it as disrespect. And I absolutely believe they're talented enough. They're talented enough. We all know the only thing that was holding them back is health, in my opinion. I'm I'm on line with Chaz with like, yes, we have coaching, we're at a coaching disadvantage. But even with the previous coaching disadvantages, you won 36, 42, 49 games before everything went to hell this season. And even with everything last season, people were still, expecting them with Willie Green again to make the playoffs last season before everybody got hurt. So that's not really an excuse to me. So what we're gonna do today is I kind of want to talk about Zion, like versus the Western Conference, and really go through some of the film with Z, some of his best games when he was like coming back the second half of the season, again, only playing 28 minutes a game. So we could really get a idea of how good this guy is, because what I think ends up happening is like when the season ends and you had like a terrible season, people only remember like flashes of the season. Like you remember like the overview of the season. You don't remember all of the fine details of what took place during the season for things to go the way that they went. Like you see Z only played 30 games. And you're like, man, he only played 30 games. Here we go, typical Zion. But again, you got to remember he was rolling before they shut him down for them last 12. The team was bad since like November. So realistically, we didn't even have to get those games. They could have shut him down for the rest of the season when everything was over, and it would have only been like what, maybe 10, 12 games that he had played or something like that. It could have been one of those kinds of seasons. So he did come back. He did play. The team was bad. They shut him down. You only got the 30 games. But what he was doing when he was on the floor, and again, all of the talent wasn't there, was really impressive. So, and shout out to Chaz, man. So I made a little graph again. So let me go ahead and throw that up. And I'm gonna go through it relatively quick. So if everybody could see, it's pretty much Zion Williamson versus the Western Conference. Like real straightforward, because a lot of things that people kind of tend to forget is that like when Zion plays, he's really good and really good against all of the teams in the West that we feel we don't have no business competing with. Now, again, this is, throughout his career and stuff like that, we've had bad teams, we've had injured teams. Again, we've had the 21 win season kind of hurt a lot of his records and stuff like that too. But we'll go ahead and just kind of go over this a little bit. So against the Spurs, right? Everybody's looking at the Spurs as one of those teams. Hey, you got to watch out. Wemby's on the way, yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, Zion specifically, and it's not necessarily the Pelicans, but Zion specifically, hold on, let me move this out the way because it's blocking. Let me move that because it's blocking some of the stats. I'll put it up later. But Zion specifically against the Spurs, 8-4 against the Spurs, averaging 23, 10, and 4. Like, that's out of 12 times you beat them 8 times. Like, to be honest, and what has the Spurs done to make you believe that they're gonna beat our team? Like, yes, they've added some pieces, but so have we. I think our best player is better than their best player. Like, Wemby still got to show me, to be honest. Like, yeah, you got De'Aaron Fox, but we kind of been having De'Aaron Fox in the torture chamber anyway. Shout out to you, Trey. Zion's record will look better if the Pelicans didn't blow those games against Memphis. Absolutely. Bro, you got to think some of those games, we lost 2-game winners against Memphis, right? But against Memphis, you still, check it out, you still 6-4. Well, Z specifically is 6-4 against Memphis. 21, 6-4. That's the averages against Memphis. And again, this is like throughout his career, from every game that he's played from rookie season to now, like, and you already know how like our team be injured. Sometimes it's not just Zion that's playing. It's sometimes it's Brandon that's out. Trey be out. Like her relatively, be relatively healthy. But a lot of these times, we missing players. Like we missing players throughout, throughout the season. So like for him to have these particular records against most of these teams, so what it is the blue are teams that we 500 or better against, and the goals are teams and goal are the teams that we got a losing record against. So look, run through it quick. The Clippers, 7-2 against the Clippers, bro. The Clippers are like, if you look at the Clippers are one of the top teams in the Western Conference consistently. For whatever reason, Zion got their number, averaging 22, 6, and 5. And like it looked like it every time that they play. The Warriors, like the mighty Warriors, right? And I like the Warriors, to be honest. I'm a Steph Curry fan. How can you not like them? I like Jordan Poole from like the times where he was there. So that's why I'm like really excited about having Jordan Poole. But against the Warriors, Zion 6-4, averaging 21, 6, and 4. So like when you think, oh, they got the Draymond stopper and stuff like, bro, no, Steph Curry gotta go insane for those dudes to beat us when Zion is playing. So like if Zion plays, we have the edge on that team. The Timberwolves, like obviously Ant is a problem. But again, if you look, like when you watch the Timberwolves and you watch Zion, like Zion with Ant on the floor, and at times when they had Karl-Anthony Towns on the floor, Zion was the best player out there. 6-4 against them, 29-6, averaging 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. The Grizzlies, he's 6-4, 21, 6-4, like I said. The Kings, like, we do well against the Kings, you know what I mean? But I'm not necessarily, like, obviously Zion does well against the Kings, but I think that's a Herb Fox situation. You know what I mean? He just gave him fits. And I don't necessarily think they're going to be in a better position now that Fox is gone. I mean, you still got Levine and Sabonis, but the Kings are in turmoil. You don't know how long they're going to even stick it out and play their season. So with the Trailblazers, we 5-5. The Jazz, we 5-7. He plays well-ish. 26, 7-6 against the Jazz for his career, but you 5-7 against that team. So like you haven't been getting the wins because that particular team and the Trailblazers as well. That's kind of why I got them stacked next to each other. But like they're just built to give him a hard time. But again, he's averaging 26, 7-6 against those teams and 25, 7-4 against the Blazers. Like that's really solid numbers for that particular. Like you're gonna be in every game against everybody in the West, and more than likely you're gonna win if that dude just played. The Suns, we 5-5 against, and he's 5-5 against. And a lot of that is probably early in them games where Devin Booker get to going crazy. But like for the most part, when you see Z against the Suns, he's really going crazy. And especially like since when they had Durant or post like the playoff series, like when he came back again, not came back, but the next season after the Pelicans lost to the Suns in the playoffs, anytime he's been seeing the Suns, you know what I mean? It's been BTA, belt to ass. 28, 6-5 he's averaging against the Suns. Over his career, he's technically 4-4 against the Thunder. I ain't gonna lie. I expect those games to be losses. So like going forward, I think those gonna be, if we could compete with the Thunder, then you could compete with anybody in the league. Obviously, that's the champion, the reigning MVP. They got 3 max guys, they got a big 3 and all of that. They got depth and all kind of stuff. So if you could compete with that team, and that's what I'm gonna be looking for this season, it should give you the confidence to compete against anybody. Now, the teams that we got losing records against, the Rockets, we 3-6 against them. Man, I don't know what's going on with like why the Rockets handle up against him. He averages 23, 6-4, but like they just beat us. Like for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the athleticism. A couple of those are last season, but it's just ugly when we play the Rockets. The Nuggets, you know exactly what that's about. The Nuggets, ever since Joker became Joker, Like most teams don't have a winning record against the Nuggets. So the Rockets absolutely got dogs. Like, oh, shout out Ryan, what else was good, bro? But like the Rockets give us trouble. Obviously, the Nuggets give us trouble. And like if you look at the last three we struggle against, or Z specifically struggles against, and like in his numbers, he's not struggling, but the team, the win-loss is a struggle. The Mavs 2-6, that was mainly against Luka. Like it was Luka, you know what I mean? But still, he getting 28, 5-5. The Lakers we 2-8 against, and that was AD and Brian. I mean, some people got Brian as the GOAT. Even like late in his career, he's still, he ain't my GOAT, but he's still a very productive player, but he's averaging 26, 7, and 5 against them. So like overall, he's 2 games under 400 in his career against the West. And that's with like a lot of inconsistency in the roster, a lot of inconsistency with the coaches. Again, you got to think, bro, Z done been through 3 coaches already. And I mean, some people might argue none of them been good. Like, would you say Elvin Gentry was good? I don't know. Like, I don't think he was that great when he was our coach. Stan Van Gundy, and I liked what Stan was doing, but he didn't get a chance to really keep going. But even still, he didn't coach in a decade. Like, he hadn't coached in a decade before they brought him back to coach this team. And obviously, nobody loves Willie Green. So with all of the stuff that we got going on with the team from an injury perspective, never having a good coach, the organization clearly deciding to never go all in. And that's part of the shout out to you. I really think that's Joe gonna give Willie this season, but I think that's one of the things that he really gonna try and change. He gonna go get us a really good coach at some point. I think he just giving Willie the okay, I owe you one, and let's see what happens. But Zion specifically has never been, in my opinion, up until this season, I don't think you would say has been in like a great situation. So to have the record against most of these teams in the Western Conference, and again, the only reason I say the West is because everybody always talks about how tough the West is. Well, throughout the career, with all of the issues that they done had, and bro, most of this time he been fat. Like, think about it. Like, he been fat for most of these seasons. Like, it's very rarely that we've seen Zion in like peak condition. When Zion gets in peak basketball shape, everybody's like, oh yeah, this dude's like a top 5. Like, he looks like a top 5, top 10 player in the league. So like, again, if we can capture that, which what it looks like we're doing right now with Joe Dumars coming in, establishing the standard, establishing the pecking order, holding people accountable. These dudes being counted out literally by everybody. Like, even realistically, and maybe I'm delusional. Because most of the people that watch the team, like, don't really have the team performing that well this season. So like, I don't think hold on, yeah, my bad. Let me get this back together. I don't think expecting them to have to make the playoffs 48 to 49 wins. If you're telling me your best player, who we think, at least I think, is one of the top players in the league, you're telling me he's one of the top players. Trey Murphy's one of the top players. Like, if you got 2 players that you would consider like a rising star, a defensive MVP candidate, and all NBA level talent, any team in the league, you would almost like predict that they would make the playoffs. So like, I don't really understand why we holding them to a lesser standard. Like, even when you talk about the bench, like Jordan Hawkins a lottery pick. Like, at the end of the day, like, you gotta show up, bro. Sadiq Bey's done some stuff in the league. Kevon Looney is a multiple-time champion. He's not like completely out of his, I don't want to say he's not out of his prime, but like, he's not like a useless player. So I just think everything relies on Zion. And to be honest, we completely forget how good this guy was. So first game I want to show is the Sacramento game. Like, the dude had 40 points, bro, and he literally like just kept thinking, whoa, what's down? What's good, bro? I actually look. I was just shouting you out, bro, because I had threw up one of the charts. You heard me? Shout out to you for giving up the confidence to go ahead and throw that up. Is Zion win losses and stuff like that. We'll get that out probably on Twitter or something like that. But what I want to do is go over the Zion game, because what most people are forgetting is last seen on the floor, Zion was literally one of the best players in the league. So this is the 40-point game in Sacramento. And just, bruh, the dude in, hold on, let me pause this for a second, because the thing that people forget about Zion, because I thought about doing like one of the like highlight videos, but if you watch highlights of Zion, like he don't really look as good as he is when you're watching like him in an actual game, like consistently in a game where you can see all of the different things that he does. So instead of like clipping a bunch of different games of him just like cutting and dunking and stuff like that, you actually got to watch what the defense looks like, how much energy that they put. Look, bro, it's 4 people in the paint. Pull up jumper over Sabonis. Let's get it started. You know what I mean? Z on the break, in transition, by himself, 1-on-2, 2-on-1, 1-on-3. Like sometimes it don't matter. Spin up. Look at the agility of this dude. This dude really a freak of nature, bro. You can't put one player on him. Whoa, appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Shout out to everybody that's tapping in. Bro, he was going crazy against Sacramento. Up 20. And look, I just recently watched this game again. And the reason they lost this game, bro, like Sacramento went on a run. This was one of them Willie losses. Sacramento went on a run. He refused to sub. They caught momentum and it was a problem. Z, transition, 2-on-1. Bro, when he's in, and then they talk about that's a defense to offensive possession. So like when people talk about him not playing defense, one thing he does, he gets a lot of steals too. So like imagine when you got Herb on the defense and you got Zion getting a steal and he out on a break. Like more than likely that's a bucket, bro. They're not stopping him. Come Seal and the bigger man, can't stop 2 people in the paint, don't matter. Too fast, too strong, too agile. Most of the times, bro, he's jumping. Like he takes his first leap damn near from out the paint. And then he got the quick second jump. I really think people forget how dominant Zion is when he's on the floor. Quick. Bro, he had JV and all kinds of hell this game. Like had JV, he probably been waiting to destroy JV too. And this is another thing too. When Zion is right, and you'll notice in a lot of these plays, he's not playing around with the ball. Come down, 1-2. I'm in straight attack mode. Like, I don't like that we have so much isolation scoring, but give it to him on the break. That's 3 people in the paint, bro. Buckets. So you telling me that when this guy is right and like this from day one, that like I definitely don't expect him to struggle. That the team gonna struggle? Maybe no, not with the Trey Murphy we seen. Screen, constant movement, good pass, Jose. Finish. Now see that if he just implements some of the screening, bro, just bully ball. A quick 40. And Zion, to his credit, is a very unselfish player. Hold on, let me queue up the next video. Bro, because I think people be forgetting how good our dog is. So the next one I want to play is the 40-point game against Sacramento happened in like January. So you got to think he came back the beginning of January. So he was like just really getting in the rhythm. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he came back in shape, so he was able to play. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. You know what my favorite play was in the play-in game? This is the only time I seen him do it too. When he Brian, the previous couple years, Brian had been known for like taking the charges and stuff like that. Bro, if you go back and look, he dropped the shoulder on Brian. Brian and set the tone the rest of the game. Brian refused to get in the way. Rest of the game. After that, he going around him, laying it up. Yep, yep, exactly. Taking charges. Not after that. Got trucked. Remember, if you remember, Brian was on the ground, holding his chest, rolling around, you know, being Brian. But shit ain't matter, bro. We was on our way to putting up 40, getting ready to go take that game. So the 40-point Sacramento game happened in January, not too long after he came back against Minnesota. So as we continue on, like he's getting better and better, getting more familiar, getting more comfortable. We got the Suns game where he got his first triple-double, right? Bro, if he start the season, Ron, if he start the season and set the tone early, if you in my way, I'm truck sticking you, bro. Like, I absolutely think that 49 to 50 wins I'm talking about gonna be easy money, bro. Easy money. So in this particular game, and this is the thing about Z2 that people don't understand. He's so efficient that like, because I want him to shoot like 20 times a game. But the style that he plays, like constantly at the rim and stuff like that, bro, if he shot 20 times a game with that particular style, it'll be brutal, especially how often they let people hack him and foul him and throw him to the ground and stuff like that. So it's really tough for him to constantly be going into the paint. And yeah, they say he needs a little jumper, but if you dominate, go fucking dominate. You get what I'm saying? So if in this particular situation with Z, like as the game comes along, he gets so efficient at the rim, you can see him easily like finding his teammates. They can't like he has a really good feel for the game. That point Zion stuff is a real thing because I don't really like calling it point Zion, to be honest. I more so like to just be like, hey, that's just a player. Like they don't say point Giannis. You know what I mean? It's just Giannis. That's the way that he play. Same thing with Z. More physical, less finesse because he's not getting that call. You ain't getting absolutely. You're not getting the call anyway. Just go run him over and set the tone. Let me rewind this real quick because this is one of the plays that I think you're gonna see a lot of all season, and it's not really much of anything. So these are like when you finally got Z and Trey healthy. Z early in the game through the paint can't stop me, right? So now you gotta pick. Look how far Trey spacing now. You can't help that. That's consistent. That's easy, right? All right, so boom, Z got the ball. What you gonna do? Because you gotta put 2-3 in the paint, 2-3 in the paint, a little bit of screen, hesitate, knock him down. Boom. Every time, bro. That's 2 quick assists in the beginning of the game. Who's to say, all right, now book up out more? Easy dimes. 2-on-1, drop off, easy dimes. Bro, this dude is so good, dog. Pause. I don't know. That's crazy. Anytime he's in the paint, there's 3 or 4 people in the paint every time. And he has the vision and the patience. Like, he's not always in a rush. Like, when he's been playing, you could tell that he knows when to go quick, when to just guide it, slow it down, letting the play develop. The one play that we have, Hog is on the 3. Look, bullying him, rebounds, bigger defender. I'm not passing it to nobody. Take it on the break. They got to pack the paint to stop me. Trail man 3s all game. All game, bro. Beating their ass. On a break. You got to help. That's all. Listen, let me pause this for a second because this should be making me mad. And I'm sorry, I'm starting to curse a little bit. It really be upsetting me. Because when you talk about Hulk, bro, this is literally all you got to do. You gonna get open looks with this particular team. They pegged you as a shooter. Look at the space. That's all you got to do. You're gonna get at least 3 or 4 of those a game. Wait on the screen, patience, spin move. I'm cooking you, bro. I'm cooking them. Too big. Too physical. Get out my way. Get out the way. Oh, dude, Zion is so just like, I used to be a Shaq fan until like I got older and went back and just watched how Shaq really used to bully people. If Zion started doing Ronald Sand and just knocking people to the ground, bro, it's gonna be a wrap. I'm telling you. And because he still got the touch. He still got the touch around the rim. 3 in the paint, gotta help. Gotta help. KD can't leave. It don't matter if it's 2 down there. I'm scoring that. Even the teams that have, multiple bigs that we're gonna struggle against. Like, again, I don't expect us to beat the Rockets anyway, because that's just a lot of athletes and size. So, like, the top teams, again, I'm not worried about. But like Portland, they got some size, so we should struggle. But, bruh, he's easily the best player on that floor. So if he's healthy against Portland, you should beat Portland. If he's healthy against the Spurs, you should beat the Spurs. If he's healthy against Dallas, you should beat Dallas. And again, I don't know how y'all feel about AD. Shout out to AD, but I think Z better, personally. Pace. 4 people in the paint. Bro, that's JRE. So instead of kicking it to JRE, we kicking it to Sadiq Bey now. I'll take those odds. Sadiq Bey hopefully proves to be, over his career, I think has been a better shooter than JRE. So, like, JRE used to get solid minutes, man. If Sadiq Bey should be a good upgrade over him in that time. Bro, look at the quick jump. Dominating. Yeah, they came with you. And then if y'all notice, like when Zion is right, he be talking crazy, bro. Like, he really be out there and one. Like in the 49 win season, he blocked KD shit twice on the backboard. Give me that. Screaming, flexing on people. Put him in the blender. Ugh. Go with the right, finish with the left. If he add anything to his game, if he add the right hand with everything that he already have, bro, like, this shit's just curtains. There's literally nobody that could do anything with him. And there's a lot of stars in the league, don't get me wrong. Your top stars, nobody could do anything with, but like, nah, bro. Nah, that dude different. Look. See the double. And this is, again, let me rewind for a second. This is where Z got the feel, see the double coming. This is where Carlo, unique role on his team comes in. If Carlo can do that, space and hit the corner 3 at I don't want to say 40%, but like if he could be, not even efficient, just adequate from there, that changes the game too, because he's athletic big as well. Excuse me. They can't stop him one-on-one. Look, shoot, give me that. Boards. Everybody get out. I got it. What you got your hand up for? CJ, your hand up for? Get out the way. Get out the way. I'm taking you. Shoulder. Bucket. Put him on ice. Put him away, Z. Put him away. No. So that was his first triple-double, right? So he gets his first triple-double. And then, so now he's getting and again, this is the first time, like, because Brandon is pretty much gone at this point, right? So now it's really, okay, Z, is your team. Like, is your team. So he's starting to lean into, all right, literally everything revolves around me. And it's kind of been like that, but it's never really been like that. So you start seeing Zion take different responsibilities, and you always see this when BI used to be out. That's why everybody was like, the combination of the two didn't really work well. But this is him against, hold on, let me pull it back up. This is Z against the Clippers. The second triple-double of his career. And one, we already know how he owns the Clippers, but if you just watch, like, the multitude of things that this guy can do defensively. He's and we passed the Z don't play defense no more. Like, we passed those. We see him block shots. We see him get in there and try and rebound. We see him guard some of the best players on the perimeter. We see him guard bigs. Like, he's playing defensively, and he's typically engaged, especially when we got good players out there playing with him. He said in the interviews all the time, like, hey, bro, when Herb and when Herb and Jose, the way those dudes play defense, like, you can't not play defense. And I firmly believe he feel like that. Trey on the break. Look, you see me. Can't stop on the bro. And he like a freight train. Freight train coming. Finishes at the rim. Post. Honestly, I don't want to see no post work. Good kick. Cross court pass. Every game you watch from Z, you're going to see every time he touch it, look, 3-4 people in the paint. Don't matter. Little pull up. See that right there? If he can consistently, he don't need to do this all the time, but if he can consistently do this, it's going to make his life a lot easier. Boom. Just pull up. Boom. Right there. It's still in the paint. It's still a paint touch. Transition. Look. Kick. Hawk. Wide open, bro. Knock down the open shots. That's all you got to do. Patience. Double. They got to double me. Finish. Everything going to be easy for everybody else on the team. It's going to be easy for everybody else on the team. And I think we got better players around him, because if you notice, he's doing all this. Look at the people he's on the court with. Like, Yves okay, Trey okay, but like, think about it, like, you got Bruce Brown. Like, none of these players at the time can like break down the defense. Like, most of them not breaking down the defense. Like, or you can't really run offense through. Look, Trey finally getting to the point where he can run some offense. And I think you're going to see quick pass, can't help, 3. Don't help, 3. Bruh. Hold on. Because, and I think you're going to see a lot of this when we go back. Find Trey. I think he hit Trey for like 3 or 4 straight threes. Hold on. Z, help, Trey, corner, splash. Okay. Again, that's your top duo. Trey, screen. Oh, look at that. Trey and Z pick and roll. Kick it to me. He got to come help. One dribble, wide open. Trey again, splash. Okay. Z, kick. Got to help, splash. Bro, if Trey take the step that we think Trey going to take, get that out of here. Good job, Carlo. We out. Find Z. Right back to you. I'm not selfish. Splash. Let me get that. Z again on the break. Bruh, also, people forget he one of the best dudes in the league to end quarters. One of the best dudes in the league to end quarters. 3-4 seconds or less, 5 seconds or less, coast to coast, we get in the bucket. That's a dunk. From the baseline, that's a dunk. If you remember, he got the game winner against, I think that was the 49-win season. He got the game winner against the Spurs with Wemby in the game in San Antonio. Similar type play. Drive. I'm dishing. Look at the touch on those passes. But I'm supposed to think that we only going to win 30 games. If this dude playing like this, I'm supposed to believe they got, I don't know, we going to lose 50 plus games? 50 plus games with this dude on the court playing like this. Split the double. Please get out. Please get in my way. Yeah, he talking. Oh, yeah. Bruh, look at Zubac's face when he split the double. Hold on. Look at Zubac's face. Look at Zubac's face. Shit. Too fucking good, bro. Easy, pass, knock down. All y'all got to do is knock down shots. He's going to make the game easy for everybody. I'm telling you, bro, people be forgetting how that's why people want us to trade him. Oh, rip. Give me that shit, boy. You thought you was just you thought you just was gonna steal that? And look, double. You gotta double him. It don't matter. Give me that. I'm taking everything. Everything mine. Off the screen. Punishing Zubac. Patience. Spin. 3 men around him. Pass. Don't worry about it. You missed. I got it. Pass. Kick out. There you go, CJ. Give me one. This dude's special. Go get that board. And we on a break. We ain't waiting. If I see one person, that's a bucket. If he see one person back there, it's a bucket. He see two people back there, it's still a bucket. All of those. Everything in that mind. Let's go. Put him away, man. Put him away. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I'm telling you. We gonna be lucky. We gonna be happy to we gonna be happy to watch him this season. We gonna be happy to watch him this season. This dude gonna have one of those. You know how y'all like? I don't know. Did Brunson make first team or second team all NBA this year? I can't remember. Because and the reason I use Brunson because you know how Brunson like looked like one of the best players in the league, but not the difference between like Brunson and Joker. Like I'm not saying Z gonna look like Joker because that's just a different level. I'm not saying he gonna look like that, but is Z gonna look like Brunson level? I think so. Better than that, absolutely. In my opinion, Hawkins plays better with Zion. Absolutely, he plays better with Z. Bro, he getting nothing but wide open shots. That's the reason that people have been critical of Willie because he's not playing the favorable matchups. Like again, and shout out to Five. Five mentioned it multiple times. Like, bro, you were subbing out Z for Trey. Like, that don't make no sense. Like, you have to play your two best players. Well, I don't want to say best necessarily because BI was on the team, but like now they are for sure. And you have to play the rotations that work for everybody. And Hawk gotta make shots. At the end of the day, that's what it boiled down to. Like, these dudes gotta make shots because Z is gonna cause so much havoc, and he's gonna get 3-4 in the paint every time. Trey got a hit, Herb got a hit, Poole got a hit, and like anybody, Hawk, like anybody that's your shooters, these dudes got to show up and do their jobs, bro. Like that's really what it boiled down to. All you got to do is show up and do your job. So I'm gonna show the Minnesota game, and again, this is the Minnesota Timberwolves that just went to the Western Conference Finals. You know what I mean? And like we still didn't have everybody in this game, and you see how Z looks against an elite defensive team. Like at the end of the day, no matter what you say, the Timberwolves are an elite defensive team. What some people think Ant is a top 5 to 7 player in the league, maybe something like that. And you see how Zion looks against them. He see them as dinner food every time. But Z did not do. This was the last time we saw Z during the season. So after this. After they show he talked a little bit after the game, the post game. I'm gonna like play the audio for the post game so you can hear what he was saying and like the mindset of where he is. And this is also why I think we're in for a big season this season. Look, this defense. No, don't play with it. Let me get that. They had people behind him, bro. You can't stop him on a break. Like, that's when you know he done finally, like, got in the rhythm. He done finally got in the rhythm. He get those. He out racing people. I'm at the rim. That's a dunk. Going around Naj Reed easily. Yeah, let's go. 2-3 in the paint. Easy. Hawkins, find me. Don't worry. I can finish around the bigger man. 5 seconds left. One of the best in the game. Buckets. I think we done seen it twice, and out of the 2 or 3 games we done played so far, he done that twice already. Come on, bro. You probably gonna get one of those once every, I don't know, 3 or 4 games, something like that. Transition, too small. Good job, Jose. Don't worry about it. Get off me. Yeah. See how you push that boy in the face? That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I want to see. Hold on. It's subtle. You got to be paying attention to see it. They're trying to play physical defense. Just push him in the fuck back. Yeah, screen. Dog, I'm telling you, this Z, a different Z. Bucket. I'm going to the rack. Watch when the little float game. Bro, you ain't got to go all the way in there. Little turn float. Yeah, you know. No, don't jump up on me. Hold on. See, I hope now this is what I hope he worked on a little bit come in the offseason at least, because he was healthy. Being able to tighten the handle up some more. Because if you're gonna be handling as much as he handled it, I don't like him picking up his dribble right here. That's the one thing I want him to be able to see, like just be able to back that out and keep your dribble alive. Because that, like, if you know, that's a risky pass in my opinion. The move, dime. The vision is there. The vision is there. Look at the 2 sitting on him. See everything. Carlo is gonna be huge, man. Chris kind of keep talking about it. I'm gonna have to do the Carlo breakdown for the Carlo highlights, bro. Carlo film review coming soon. Oh my gosh. Man, look at Z, bro. That's your best player, dog. Can pass, can handle, physical enough, going around the big. That's 3 people in the get the finish. Oh, we on the defensive side too? Don't be late with that pass. Don't be late. Give it a. Yeah, you see me coming. Too small. Again, if it's one person back there, they ain't stopping him. A lot of people don't talk about Carlo. He played decent in the second half of the year. Should have used him over time. Bruh, I don't understand why they had Tyson from day one. I was like, you might as well go ahead and just roll with Carlo. Dance on him. 3, 4 people in the paint. That's Rudy Gobert, bro. 3, 4 time defensive MVP. You say what you want. Rudy could protect the paint. Every time he just going down there. Buckets. 4 people. Buckets. Buckets. There's nobody in the league that can stop him. 3, 4 people kick, wide open kick. See, that's Bruce Brownie kicking to him. When he kicking the Herb or he kicking the Sadiq Bey or Jordan Hawkins, that's got to be knocked down. Good job, Carlo. Don't worry about it. I keep it. It don't matter. 3. Look at Ant. Oh, look at Ant's face. Look at, bro. Watch Ant as Z just, and this is what he does, bro. He just frustrates you. 3 of them over there. Nope, don't matter. He don't want help. Watch him. Telling you, dog. Dime. Flush that. There you go, Missy. Catch. Did the episode about Missy. All you got to do is catch the ball clean, bro. You catch it clean, easy, finish. Also, I think when Missy played with better players, he's going to look better because, don't worry about it, miss. Find the man. Find the man. Fuck out the way. When he plays with better players, it's going to give him more space, and he won't have to do all of the things that he was trying to do in Summer League, in my opinion. Hold on. So this is what I'm talking about. He had the interview with Andrew Lopez, and This was the last time that you heard from Z because they shut him down after this, and then obviously we lost or whatever. Missi plays well with DeJounte. I think Missi gonna play well with almost any point guard, like somebody who plays like an actual point guard. So when they use him with like some actual pick and roll with Z or Poole, I think he's gonna play really well with Poole too. So I'm expecting a solid year 2 from Yves. Like if Yves is the starting point, is the starting center, like I believe he's gonna average a double-double, like an easy 10 and 10. But this particular interview, let me go ahead and let y'all hear it so you can hear what Z was saying about like his teammates and everything. And like this is the mentality that you're gonna have from this dude.
Lopez, Andrew.
Down here with Z right now. Z, let's just talk about this team coming off that Trey injury the other night and being able to bounce back, fight back today. What did you think of it?
And again, this is after the Trey injury. So like after the Trey injury, Herb already gone, DeJounte gone. Like he was gone most of the time. Brandon then got traded. Like the season is pretty much a wreck. And Trey, your running mate, just hurt his shoulder. So like there's no reason for one for him to play, and two, there's no reason for him to like not be. There's no reason for him to be as aggressive as he was in this particular game. But this shows like what Z is made of, and when we talk about like the leadership, like when they put it on his back, this is what I mean.
This guy's up.
I mean, it shows the resilience of our team. We've had a lot of injuries throughout the season, but Coach always talked about conditioning tests. Next guy up. And, tonight was another step in the right direction for us.
We know you talked about being a point guard your whole life and doing this at this level, but it seems like even right now it's at another level right now. How comfortable do you feel when you're the guy leading this offense?
Man, I've been playing basketball since I was 4. The game come natural to me. And I say it all the time. My teammates and coaches trust me, so I ain't going to let them down.
What's this like?
I've been playing the game since I was 4. My teammates and coaches trust me. I'm not going to let them down. Like, the dude that we got, like, I think there was a clear turning point in the season, right? And I don't know what it took necessarily for us to get there, but again, Z going into year 7, a lot of players don't figure it out early, right? And you might want them to figure it out early because you're paying your money, you're going to these games and stuff like that. Sometimes it takes for them to figure it out on their second team. I'm hoping that's not the case because this dude is really, really good, really, really talented. And I think he's a good dude and like made of the right stuff. The dude is a dog, bro. A dog. And he cares about the team. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on.
The other night, you stepping up playing on Anthony Edwards tonight. What has this been like for you? What's this like? You had a couple of games now. We had the defense against Cade the other night. You stepping up playing on Anthony Edwards tonight. What has this been like for you, just kind of stepping up on both sides, especially on that defensive side?
I mean, I've talked a little bit about it in the past few games. We want to be a championship caliber team in the future. The best player is going to have to be able to guard, and that's what it comes down to. Especially in the finals.
Let me rewind that for y'all. They asked him about the defense, him being the best player, having the guard. Like, he out there guarding Ant. Like, he talking about the finals. Like, this not a dude, bro. They in the midst of a 21-win season, and he talking about the finals. Hold on, for people that missed that.
Just kind of stepping up on both sides, especially on that defensive side.
I mean, I've talked a little. Trust me, so I ain't gonna let him down.
What's this like? You had a couple of games now. We had the defense against Cade the other night. You stepping up playing on Anthony Edwards tonight. What has this been like for you, just kind of stepping up on both sides, especially on that defensive side?
I mean, I've talked a little bit about it in the past few games. We want to be a championship caliber team in the future. The best player is going to have to be able to guard, and that's what it comes down to. Especially in the finals.
Got it. Thanks, C.
No problem. You guys have a great night.
Right now, new Bet360.
Bro. That's not a dude. That's not a dude that don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They literally in the midst of a 21-win season, everything then went to hell. And he like, we trying to build habits. You know what I mean? I'm going Ant because your best player got to be able to guard the best player, which shows me he's setting the example. Herb not out there. and your best player. He ain't say your best defender. Your best player got to be able to guard. That's what championship basketball is. So, like, that dude mind is in the right place. Like, he's made of the right stuff. Like, I really believe, like, with Joe Dumars coming in and us leaning into, like, Zion. Like, again, bro, you got to remember, like, even this season, like last season, I'm sorry, he still wasn't the last person getting announced at the games. Like, no, put it all on. That was about to be crazy. Like, give the responsibility to Zion, lean into the talent, challenge him constantly. And Joe Dumars, you know what? Not only is he challenging him, he's putting the right kind of talent around him as well. Like, okay, yeah, you bring in two rookies because people don't want to put the responsibilities on the rookies right now. But I personally think, hold on. Shout out, the most underrated move Zion needs to incorporate is pump fake. His free throw rate will go out the roof. Bro, it's so many just little things that he could add to his game. And if he add to his game, he's not a great free throw shooter, but you're going to get so many opportunities anyway because he's so big and strong and athletic and agile that he can literally drive to the court, like you said, pump. Like, you're not going to jump because if you don't jump, he going up. That's either a dunk or easy bucket. So absolutely he getting people off their feet. Like, I'm hoping the one thing I wanted him to add, I just wanted him to tighten down the handle a little bit because he's going to be handling the ball a lot. And, you know, sometimes like it take him some time to get like, you know, get his ball on the string, pause the way he's supposed to. But if he can have the handle tighten and just little things like that, like you said, just go to the goal, just savvy enough to pump fake, jump into somebody, get the and one, bro, you'll be shooting 8 to 10 free throws a game easily. Like, he'll put people in a position of where they have to call it. The reason they don't call it is because, like you said, with the pump fake, if you watch, he mostly, when he drives, he's like, hit the launch pad and take off. It's not really, and not that he can't, but like he goes, takes off. And he's so athletic to where he got like one of the quickest second jumps in the league. So he'll get up. If he misses it, boom, he's right back. He's right back on the at the rim. Absolutely, they know he a problem, dog. He a problem. Again, the dude, when he came back, only played 28 minutes a game and was still averaging like 25, 6, and 5. Like, we in a good position. We in a good position. 28 minutes a game, 25, 7, and 5. My bad. One still shooting 56% from the field on a losing team. So, bro, I'm telling you, dog. That's why they want us. That's why you hear all of the, in my opinion, why you hear all of the Z don't want to be there. Z multiple times and said, I love New Orleans. I personally don't think Zion at this point in his career, with everything that he know about the NBA and how quick they turn on him, they call him fat and all shit, we do a good enough job of doing it. And we a small market. Like, imagine if he was in a big market with all of the stuff they got going on, bro. That dude probably have all kind of, you know what I mean, depression and anxiety and stuff like that. So I believe him when he say, I don't want to leave New Orleans. I agree. And I think Joe Dumars is that type of person. Like, Z got the old soul, you know what I mean? So I think like he fits perfectly with what it is that we're now starting to put into place. I think now we're really starting to get some real accountability. I also think you'll get accountability for the coaching too. Like, I don't think we had accountability for the coaching staff previously. I think Joe Dumars is really going to come because Griff was more so like, if you don't do what I want, I'll probably figure out a way to backhand to get rid of you. I don't see that from Joe. I see Joe directly going to Willie and like, hey, get this together or, you know, we're going to get you out of here. And again, even the players that they bring in, I think are more equipped to complement Zion and the things that he does well. And Joe said it early when he first got here that like it's a hard way to live when you only got one. Like, it's a hard life, man, when you're the only playmaker on the team. Like, realistically, Zion was like BI was the other creator on the team, but BI wasn't necessarily athletic either. So like his personality needs a low key city. I don't get big. No, he don't want, bro. The dude from Charlotte, man. The dude from Charlotte, like he grew up in a city similar to this. I think Grubb said it on his show. Shout out to Grubb, saying, he did the episode talking about, the Z trade, and he don't think Z won't go to a big market because this is more like home to him. I completely agree with that. I think for players like Z, players like Trey might want to be in a big market, but I think players like Trey want their own team. And I think you, like, example, when you play 2K, you do your My Play or something like that, is a couple ways that people typically do it. Either they go to their favorite team. So if like you're a Laker fan, you might go to the Lakers, or if you're a Celtics fan, you go to the Celtics. But one thing that people typically do is they go to one of the worst teams, so you can have the satisfaction of saying, I was the dude that turned that around. I think Zion, since he's been here, has seen the opportunity to like go to a place that don't have a rich history and be able to say, I was the one who did that. And I think the turning point of the season and the career, his career and everybody in New Orleans right now, I think the turning point literally is right now. Like we're gonna shout out BI was like that. I think we're gonna look at that 21 win season, and that's gonna be the line of like demarcation. Like that's gonna be the moment where everything kind of switches, because you have the Griffin era, right? In the Griffin era, like, yeah, it started with Zion, but like to me, I thought it was a shit show from the beginning, in my opinion. When you draft that dude number one, they comparing him to LeBron and stuff like that, and you tell him he not the face of the franchise, it's not his responsibility. Like, granted, again, I done like shows on that too. Zion has his own responsibility and things that he didn't live up to. But David Griffin was like David Griffin was trying to prove his own he had his own things he was trying to prove to get away from the LeBron in Cleveland, like kind of way that organization was ran. Like he didn't like how LeBron had all that power. So I think he was trying to, from day one, diminish Zion Light. How many games you got us winning, assuming we have relative health? 49-50, dog. 49-50. If you go look, me and my boy Mike did the full episode breakdown, like the full schedule breakdown. And we talked about every game, like wins, losses, and stuff like that. I got us winning 49-50, assuming that we healthy, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Because a lot of people talk about how tough the schedule is. And when you really sit down and look at the schedule, if you giving us, like, I think people are going to give the Pelicans losses based off of just assuming too much, right? Like, and again, I could be wrong, because I'm more positive on the team. Because I see like the videos and stuff, Trey Murphy, and what Trey Murphy looked like towards the end of the season, and then what Z looked like towards the end of the season, and what Poole looked like. Absolutely not, bro. It ain't even 35. They got us pegged for 30 wins, bro. Less than 30 wins. Come on. You got them somewhere. Most Pels fans, like most of the people from Boo Crew kind of got them around 42, 43-ish. If they're healthy or something like that. I got them 49-50, dog. Now, a lot of Boo Crew last night, my boy Lito had you high wide, bro. Had you high wide. No, when I was going through the schedule, like people give the other teams benefit of the doubt way too much. Like when go back and watch me and Mike episode, me and my boy Mike Butler, episode about like the breakdown of the schedule, and you'll see that, like, example, easily in the 40. I got us in the 47 and 52. And the only reason I got like 47 because you can't account for like, if somebody does get hurt or we're resting or something like that, all of those things, we're on a back-to-back and all of that. But I think, for example, a lot of the losses that some people might consider are like Zion not playing back-to-backs, because in the David Griffin era, he wouldn't play back-to-backs early in the season, and it was allowing him to make it through the season. Joe Dumars not doing that. You ain't playing back-to-back shit, bro. Like, no, you coming out, you playing. Now, they might minimize his minutes like early in the season. He might not be playing 35, 36 minutes or nothing like that, but he definitely going to be playing back, like if you're healthy or close to healthy. And I think this is something for everybody. If you're relatively healthy, you're gonna play. Those dudes want to play games, and they already understand what the situation is with the coach. Like, they've been coached by this dude for what, 5 years now. He was just giving us L's on preconceived notions that he obviously think we gonna suck, giving other teams credit for the talent, but not us. Man, look, I'm not gonna shout out to Lito. You know what I mean? Lito got a good. So what I think most of those dudes are feeling or expecting is, the last time I saw you, this is what you look like, right? The last time I saw you, you didn't look good. So until I see otherwise, I have to assume that. I understand that. At the same time, I can't give other teams benefit of the doubt just because we look bad in a very injury-prone season. Like, nothing went right for us last season. And again, they still won 21 games, and most of the time, like, number one looked dominant. Trey Murphy looked like a star. Herb Jones, like the little bit of time that he was on the floor, looked awesome. Like, I'm telling you, I just really think that this team this season is gonna look. I'm telling you, though, they're gonna look good. Like, we went over the beginning parts of the schedule. We're talking about, for example, the opening against, because we got Memphis, then you got the Spurs. It's like, why would I think Memphis gonna beat us? Like, just the opener against Memphis on the road. Jaren Jackson might not be there. They just traded Desmond Bane. Like, if Trey and Herb are there day one, we know Poole and Z supposed to be there. That's a win. Like, that's a win. The Spurs, the home opener and the blended. Like, what has Wemby done? Don't worry, I'll wait. What has Wemby done? Nothing. Why do I think Wemby is going to be, even if you're going to say Wemby is this amazing talent, right? Wemby is this amazing talent. Like, Wemby, dog, they got Wemby not even a block player. Like, he don't even play in the most dominant, like, he's not even using his talent in the most dominant way possible, in my opinion. Like, this dude think he Kevin Durant. No, like, that's not gonna cut it. So I'm not worried about them. The Celtics. And then our schedule is tough early, but I actually think that plays to our benefit, because all of the tough teams got shit they trying to figure out too. There is no Tatum. Like, there might not be no Jaylen Brown. Like, Jaylen Brown got something. There might not be no, well, might not. There is no Horford. There is no Drew. There is no Porzingis. Like, that's a completely different team. I'm telling you, dog, go watch and I'll say this, y'all might not come to the same conclusion on like the 49 wins or whatever, but you'll have a better understanding of like, maybe we do better than like 30, 35, or like even the 42. Now, I will say this. Part of the caveat that I had was because everybody's saying that they don't, and I'm kind of getting off track because, again, this episode was supposed to be about Z, but fuck it, we here, so I give you this and then we'll get out of here. But part of, in that particular episode, we was talking about with the season and everything is also, if you telling me that we don't think that, like, everybody's saying they don't think DeJounte is gonna be here for the season. They don't think DeJounte plays another minute or whatever. I said, okay, if that's the case, that's a $30 million salary that you got to move. you gotta bring something back that's 30 million of value. I done put out multiple episodes about this. I think we're gonna be somewhere around 7 to 10 games above 500 going into the new year, right? Going into the new year, January, getting ready to go in the All-Star break, 7 to 10 games over 500, and they're going to pull the trigger on Sabonis. They're going to pull the trigger on Sabonis. Sabonis going to come to the team, and then you going to really be primed to push the rest of the way. That's the way I see it going. Z, your best player. Trey still going to be you. Now, imagine the lineup of Sabonis, Herb, Trey, Z, Poole. And I don't know if you got to give up Missi necessarily, but if you find a way to keep him, but you end up with Missi, Looney, Queen on your bench, you know what I mean? You open up the spot for Fears. Who's going to be the guy that walks into your office and say, hey, find me somewhere to go? Nobody. I don't think. Well, I ain't going to say nobody. I think, you know who had that conversation already that they're probably not saying? I think it was DeJounte. If anybody did, I think it was DeJounte. Because you can say either he is really excited about the season, and you know, and DeJounte always does, like every offseason, he does his his promotion, like ramping up and all of that. Like even when we traded for him, if you remember, he was putting out the stuff in the Pels gear, had everybody excited and all of that. So he is like pretty big in the offseason about putting out like content and stuff like that. But and Chaz talked about it a lot, between the pivot video and when Joe Dumars got there, like, unless they found some kind of way to hash it out that we don't know, which I'm sure they're going to talk about this at media day if he's still on the team at the time. But if anybody's trying to get moved, because in that interview, he was like, man, something got to shake, right? If something got to shake, you still feel like that? DeJounte seemed like the type that if he still felt like that, he felt like that, right? So if anybody has something to say, I would assume it's probably him. And Joe's probably like, bet, get yourself together. We'll see what we can do. That's why I'm not cutting off the thought of trading for Sabonis. I really just think that's the move. I think that's the play. I don't think Sacramento is going to be good. I think Zion going to look like a fucking superstar. Trey going to look like a superstar, which means they ain't going nowhere. And then it's going to we're going to be at the same point that we are most times during true thing. DeJounte was a blessing in disguise, not for his play yet. What he was willing to say about the franchise. I agree. I think part of DeJounte being the newcomer here saying what he had to say was part of the reason that Griff got let go. I believe that. Because if DeJounte not here from day one being like, what is this? I ain't never seen no franchise run like this. This coach don't know what he's talking about. Like, he doing all of that. Like, I think we all kind of have an understanding that, like, Gail runs the team where, like, she's a delegator. You know what I mean? Like, I hired you to do a job. Like, I don't want to be bothered with the product. I want to come there and watch. Right? Like, I want to come there. I want my stuff to perform. I want it to do what it does, what it's supposed to do. I don't want my players on the news, and I don't want all of that. So I think trading for DeJounte was supposed to be like, hey, this guy's going to be able to stabilize and you know, help the players, like, kind of keep things under wraps. And then the first thing he's doing, he like, yeah, man, the game plan was ish. Like, even in the opening interview, he was taking like little slight shots at Willie. No, I don't agree with that. So, again, we're going to look at last season, the 21-win season. I think we're going to look at last season as the moment of time where things shifted for the Pelicans. And in order for things to be great, things got to be destroyed. Like, even when you working out and you rebuilding it, like, you rebuilding your body, right? You got to tear yourself down to build yourself up. So, like, they slowly rose, right? They got to the 49-win season. The 49-win season was a flawed season, right? if we would have been, I don't want to say healthy, but like if last season isn't like a complete shit show, like Willie might get an extension. You know what I mean? Like if it was a okay season, Willie might get an extension. Griff might still be here. We still might have a lot of the flip-flops of not knowing what somebody is like. The one thing we know about Joe, if at least it feels like Joe giving it to you straight. Like I don't feel BS listening to Joe do his interviews. Like last season kind of helped clear the way by hook or crook. You know what I mean? They did what they had to do. And the one thing with Griff was Griff wasn't like a Pels guy. Like Griffin was recommended to the Pelicans, right? They know Joe Dumars. So I think like they look at Joe Dumars as part of the family. With them knowing Joe like that, I think they're going to give Joe a lot more flexibility to do what he wants to do. So when you saw moves like you saw when we would get to the certain point where we'd be like, man, we a good team. This will be the perfect time to make like an all-in move. And then you would see them either not do nothing or they would do something like kind of around the edges or whatever, right? Like the only real big move that the team made, like when they were like trying to be competitive, was the CJ trade. You know what I mean? And like that wasn't a bad deal, obviously. But even when they made the DeJounte trade, like they made the DeJounte trade and it felt like there was supposed to be another move, and that second move never came. So like even right now, when you making the trade for Poole and you bringing in Looney and okay, you got the rookies, it feels like there's another move that's supposed to be coming. So like, and I think Joe, if the team gets off to the start that I'm talking about, then you'll see Joe say, yeah, we gonna go for it. And it might not necessarily be go for it like Joe really care about the city, the culture. You tell Griff wanted to prove he can win without LeBron. Yeah, like Griffin was so, and this is the thing I know about, at least if I don't want to say I know. This is what I think about Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars wants to win. Like, I am a winner. Like, remember, I'm a winner. I'm going to win. Like, that's what I think Joe Dumars is thinking. Like, I'm a winner. I'm going to win. By any means, I don't think Joe Dumars has to have the credit for winning. Like, yeah, it'll be nice, but I don't think he's like, I got to do it my way or highway. No, I don't think Joe feels like that. And I could be wrong. You know, everybody got their pride and their egos and stuff like that. I just think that Joe is coming in and really is trying to reset this. And if he feels that we have an opportunity, I don't think he necessarily mortgages too much of the future. But if they have an opportunity to do something special or acquire a talent that's going to make a difference for the team, I think he's going to do it. Like, I think obviously under the Joe Dumars regime, I think we'll finally see them be a tags team. I don't think it'll be this season necessarily, because you could make the Sabonis deal and still not go into the tax. But I think it'll be probably because if they trade for Sabonis and the year goes well, but they don't win, now you got the following season, and then that's when I think you'll be a tax team. But man, I appreciate all y'all for tapping in. You know what I mean? We have an hour and 20 minutes in, bro. I really love this team, though. I really love this team, and I love these players. Some of them give or take or whatever, but I'm like really invested as far as like watching these games, watching this film, like looking at the numbers. Like, the shit really be driving me crazy. So like the whole purpose of this particular episode though was, I think people, because you haven't watched Zion play in a really long time, and people forgot what it was like when he was on the floor, and you get so frustrated with the news and stuff like that, that you hadn't seen this man be dominant. Like, he's legit dominant. Just gotta give you like the little reminder. This dude is really one of them ones. So appreciate everybody for tapping in. That's gonna do it for me, man. It's your boy Davis Pels on the Blender. Like, comment, subscribe, share the page. I got Friday. I got Justin from Pro Pels. We gonna do a little episode or whatever. Got that coming out this Friday for y'all too, man. So appreciate everybody. Be on the lookout for that. For everybody that tuned in, appreciate y'all. All love. I'm out. Peace.